So first of all, I would like to thank Michael and Andrea actually who invited me to this panel and share some of my perspectives, observations, or insights about the recruitment in China. I would like to introduce myself a little bit so that you have a better background about me, who I am, and what kind of things I have done that lead me to where I am today. I went to the United States to pursue my master degree in 2010. First of all, I pursued my master degree in K 12 education, then transitioned to higher education and student affairs. Um, in my two programs, I benefited a lot from my colleagues, co-workers, supervisors, and mentors who supported me a lot to, excuse me, to grow as an international student in my community. Actually, my alma mater was a predominantly white college, but I didn't feel very lonely because of all the support system. So after graduation, I decided to give back to the community and support more international students. Then I went to Miami University, Ohio from 2014 to 2018. At that time, my position actually was the reverse side of my current position. I supported lots of international students for their transition, involvement, and integration to the local community and American campus. I decided to come back to be closer to my family. Um, at the second half of 2018, then I started to work in Michigan State University Beijing office from 2019, and my position, which is my current position, mainly responsible for undergraduate recruitment and also graduate recruitment, and lots of other things as well. So I'm wearing lots of hats. Besides recruitment, I also do alumni engagement, employer relations, being a liaison between MSU and the Chinese students and parents, and also supporting China-based programs. For example, this year during pandemic, we have a partnership with local Chinese universities so that our students can go to the transitional programs in person in the traditional Chinese university for a semester before they um, before they go to East Lansing next year. So all of this are what I'm doing. So it's a little bit of everything, but mainly focus on recruitment. And I would like to give you kind of like MSU school profile if you are not familiar with it. Some of the best practice work for big university, but may not work for liberal art college or community art college or other kinds of schools. So I want to give the background ahead of time. So Michigan State University is a very big university having over 50,000 student population. Now we have about more than 3,000 Chinese students on campus. We are also public, so we receive funding from the government and of course some endowment from private as well. And we focus on research a lot. We put lots of money and human resource on undergraduate research, which also is one carrot in terms of recruitment. Um, and as of now, my university does not allow us to work with agents, which may be different from other university or from your university. So before this panel discussion, the presentation, I actually chatted with Andre about what both of us will cover. And I know she will cover the topic about agents, and I will not cover the topics about agents, so our topics will not overlap with each other too much. I think, which is the good thing to give two sides of how to work with agents for the audience. So my university relies lots traditional ways of recruitment and also adding some new elements, especially this year. So for example, the traditional ways of recruitment are very high touch relationship with high school counselors, prospective students, and their families. Because in China, especially the school-based high school counselor, they have very frequent contact with their students. Basically, they see the students 5 days per week during academic semester. So it's very vital to keep constant contact with high school counselors. So for example, I have their emails, their WeChat number, so they can reach out to me anytime, so I can answer their questions. And also, it's important to know their needs and expectation and concerns. So some of them may ask you, they have one specific student who's looking for art program or architecture program, or like a music program like that. So if we can provide this kind of service or the update information, um, it's easier to connect with the high school counselor who may consider sending their students to university who is more responsive and responsible. And there are many ways to keep the contact with them as well, not just via the social media, the emails, WeChat, but also other ways like counselor retreat. I don't know how many of you have done counselor retreat. I know some university really spend lots of time and money on counselor retreat. My university um, has not done fly-in session. I know some other university have done fly-in session, which means they pay for the money to sponsor school-based Chinese high school counselors to fly to the United States to have retreat or training or other programs like 2 or 3 days in the US. Then hop into another university for the retreat. So, for example, 3 to 5 university collaborate with each other to sponsor this entire fly-in session, and split the cost as well. So this is one kind of counselor retreat. What we have done usually, the China office is having the in-country counselor retreat. So we can do like a counselor retreat in Beijing, in Shanghai, in Guangzhou, the kind of like a big cities, like central cities, and invite counselors from the city and a greater area. This kind of counselor retreat also works to kind of build up the community to help counselors share information, and engage the relationship with them. So the first one is keeping constant contact with the high school counselors. The second one you may be very familiar with is the high school visits. We do lots of high school, like physical high school visits, like one-on-one or collaborating with either other universities. So like, for example, 3 or 4 universities organize a kind of a tour or a very mini consortium to have physical high school visits together to specific high schools and then do the presentation or promotion or the mini college fair like that, and chatting with high school counselors to build up the relationship. This year, it's very hard to do it because of the pandemic. Some high schools are open right now in domestic China, but not all of them. And some have their own policy. So we still do lots of online sessions with high schools this year. And in terms of trending in the future, we may combine both physical and online sessions with high schools. Um, the advantage of doing the online sessions is it's very time saving. I don't need to travel there, and it's cost saving as well. But in terms of attendance, the effectiveness, the attention from audience is lower than the physical high school visits. And to be honest, many students and their families are burned out by the probably the Zoom burnout phrase, the online sessions. And right now we don't have other very bad good ways to engage with them online. So it's also a hot topic right now, how to engage with audience via online sessions. But I think every university is struggling with it because of the low attendance, no interaction between the panelists and audience like that. The third one is education fairs. I often go to the education fairs organized by different parties. Um, First one is by high schools. Usually, high school counselor would like to do their own education fairs or college fairs to highlight their students, and which is also a really big event on their campus. So it's also good for their branding as well. So when we think of our university branding, high schools need to think about their branding because they need to do recruitment as well from grade 8 or grade 9 students. The second one I often join is via associations. Right now, I list some association I'm often involved with. One is Education USA, which has a good number of branch offices, I think, all over the world. In China, they have branch office in the Beijing, Shanghai, and the Guangzhou, and also Shenyang and Wuhan. But those two places are kind of inactive now. So the very active ones are Beijing, Shanghai, and Guangzhou. They do lots of events usually. This year they are more low key, so not lots of events, but still they do something. So we can join, and then they also host closed door events. So they will invite university representatives to join the closed door events so that we can get some updates. Not officially, but we can know some kind of insights from them about um, either the trending or the US China relations like that. So we have better understanding or we have more prep ahead of time. The second one is a relatively new association, American University China Association. I think it was established like 4 or 5 years ago for the university who have the physical China office. But I think they are open to receiving more membership um, for the universities that do not have China office as well. So they also host events like recruitment tour or online sessions or online sharings like that. So it's also a very useful association to be getting involved with to help with our university branding. The third one is China ICAC, which is another new association established about 2 years ago. This association was originally for high school counselors based in China. Then they opened to receiving university representatives, especially admission officers, to join the association. So if you want to have more contact with high school counselors or their email address like that, this is really good association. I think has more than 200 or 300 members right now. So you can have a really good coverage in China to know more about the high school counselors and build up the relationship with them. They also have physical annual conference each year. This year they don't have one because of the pandemic, but they have a online one. I think starting next year they will transition back to in-person one, and usually the annual conference is in March. So many um, university admission officers will fly from different countries to China for the recruitment season and also join the China ICAC annual conference. So the timing is really good to um, to gather all the people together in person. So if you have the opportunity to fly to China during March, during the spring recruitment season, um, uh, consider joining some association annual conference to make your trip productive, to build a more relationship with different partners, potential partners. And another good way is this association usually host the events either free or with very minimal charge. So you don't have spend lots of money if you have limited budget. So they are more like nonprofit organizations to help the community grow. Um, Besides this, kind of like non-profit, no cost or minimal cost association. I also join some other third parties or third platforms, and I list some of them like Seattle, Identity Initiative. These three are very popular in China now, especially this year. They do lots of great online sessions. At least they build up the online platform. So like a virtual college fair, online session platform to help with more prospective students and their families. So they are very popular. Actually, they grow their business this year during pandemic, and it's usually paid. It really depends on how much commitment you want to have with them. So either they charge certain amount of money per session, or they have a package about like 3 sessions how much, or like 1 week 2 weeks how much, like that. So there are lots of ways of the charge, different packages, and different time commitment like that, so you can choose from them. My university was not involved with the third party previously, um, but this year we are getting accustomed to it, and we are getting more involved with, um, mainly because of pandemic. It's very hard to engage with prospective students and their family. So we choose to put more money on the third parties. So and usually after the sessions, after the virtual college fair, the third party will send you an Excel sheet with um, the audience who join your sessions with their email address and other contact information, so you can put all of this data to your system for following up conversation. If you have a series of um, recruitment like newsletter, um, like campaign or promotion, so these students will receive this materials. So it's a good way to reach out to more students, at least to get some leads initially. So these are more traditional ways, just building up a little bit like virtual sessions this year during pandemic. Then I want to talk about more like innovative ways, not real innovative anymore, because I think many of the social media have existed for years, or 1 to 2 years, but they're very popular in China, especially to engage with the Generation Z, because they are on the cell phone 24/7. Um, the first one I think many of people are very familiar with is WeChat. Basically, everyone uses WeChat, um, and it's because it's a very comprehensive app. Um, I know some of my non-Chinese friends who use WeChat for lots of things like booking taxi. So WeChat has the feature like Uber or Lyft, and you can order food from there, and you can go online shopping. You can pay things. So WeChat has a payment function like Apple Pay. So it's a one for all app having all the features. So I know some of my foreign friends who use WeChat for everything, and it's very convenient. I think this is why it gets so popular in China. So if you haven't started using WeChat, you can start it to try it out, to have a feeling about it. It has lots of ways to engage with students. Um, if you open a personal account and add friends, friends means prospective student, family, then you can have one-on-one conversation with them. So which like counseling, to answering the questions, to get their attention. Um, and you can also create WeChat groups. So to adding people to the same group which has common interest or common topic. So if you have an event on certain date, you can create a group and asking people to join if they are interested, and post announcement in the WeChat group so everyone can see the announcement. Also, you can do kind of like a live stream session in WeChat group as well, either via camera or via the voice call. So it's convenient. People are very used to it. If you want to do something more, like beyond the basic function, you can create public account, which needs more time commitment to manage the public account or public page. So which is more like blog. So you can write articles to showcase your university, your program, to showcase current student stories, campus resources, alumni stories, like that. Um, and then you can generate a QR code to ask people to follow your public account. So generating attracting followers is very important for social media. Once you have more base number, um, your articles will have more readers, which means your your promotional campaign reach out to more people. So if you have this kind of direction to go, I suggest you try out. I think you will see some improvement on your outreach to the Chinese students and their families. The second one is Weibo, which is very similar with Twitter. I think it's kind of like a like the copy, the second version of the Twitter after Twitter went out. So like you can tag people, which is the very different, like distinctive feature, different from WeChat. So during in the WeChat, you cannot tag people, you cannot tag strangers. You have to friend with people ahead of time. But in Weibo, you can tag lots of people you don't know. So which is another feature if you want to have more outreach in public to gain the people's attention. So for example, if I post something in Weibo, which is an event collaborating with my partners a university. So when I post the things, I can tag the partner university. So which will help me engage or reach out to more people who follow my partner university's Weibo. So it's like a tagging on other people's shoulder to help my university stand out. So if you want to try out this feature, Weibo has this feature. The third one is very popular right now. If you read the US news, I think you probably know it already, the TikTok. The TikTok started to get popular 1 year, 2 years ago because of their branding. Lots of young people use it now because it has lots of video, so very accessible, very straightforward, visionized. Um, not with lots of words. So many people use it. and also it has good live stream session, the live stream feature. So people can use their cell phone, for example, when they hang out in the street to showcase what the street looks like that. So, for example, if you have a student ambassador, you can have the student ambassador to do it, having a kind of like a virtual campus tour to showcase your university. So many people like it because it's very engaging. And while the live stream session happens, the audience can comment, can interact with the, for example, student ambassador in this case, or any other people. So that's why people like it. People have the kind of like real time experience. So if you want to engage with people in this way, TikTok is a really good option. The fourth one is 小红书. I'm not sure if it has an English name. It's kind of getting popular right now because of its function as well. It's, in my way, it's very similar with either Instagram or Pinterest because it posts lots of pictures. Um, Many people use it to, especially like for tourism, because lots of beautiful pictures there, and people like to check out the pictures before they go to a new place, to check our place of interest like that. So um, in our ways to brand our universities, we can use it to feature the good pictures of our universities in this app as well, to attract potential students. So I haven't used it for my job, but I think if in the future, if I have time, I will try it on because it gets more young people's attention. It has the kind of like a base number, a really good number of followers in the app already. The fifth one is very different from the previous four in my way because it's more kind of like academic side. Zhihu's very similar with Quora. If you are familiar with the Quora, you may know it's more like question and answer based, and it's more academic. So like students will ask what kind of like campus environment they are, and what kind of programs are popular. Any questions can be posted there, and you can answer them as a university official. And other students can also answer them as well, like current students or alumni like that. So and I've seen some universities who use Zhihu very successfully to promote their academic programs. The prospective students and their families who use Zhihu usually are more academically oriented. So especially if you want to promote graduate programs, which has lots of academic and research components, I think so. I think you can download. Sorry, I just saw the chat. I think you can download the 小红书 app. You can try it on. Um, I'm not sure, but I think so. I don't think it's banned. I know TikTok, WeChat was one of the high topics um, during in the past few months. If they are going to be banned in the U.S. side. I think 小红书 is fine, and it has not got so much attention from the government. Okay, back to Zhihu. So it's more academic. I think if you want to promote graduate programs with more academic and professional and research components, and then you can write like an article with lots of details, it will gain more attention, and you can promote it via Zhihu to attract students. Another thing I want to mention is you can combine the apps together. So for example, if you post an article in Zhihu, actually you can repost it in WeChat, you can repost it in Weibo. So you can kind of like being flexible to combine the apps together to use each other's features to complement each other. So for example, if one prospective student only follows your Zhihu but may not know you have WeChat or Weibo number, but when you post it using the kind of like cross-posting feature, the prospective students may follow all of your social media accounts. So, and also it will save your time. If you post everything in all the social media, I think it's very time consuming. I don't have time to do it. And it's boring if you post all the things in all social media. Once audience know, oh, you just repeatedly doing the same thing in all the social media, they may not follow you. They may lose their interest. So it's very important to develop some strategy before you use the social media, how to use them more effectively to save your time, your energy, and also reach out to more people to gain, first of all, gain their interest, and then maintain the relationship with them. Because of the expositional usage of social media in China, we also see people lose their interest. People, first of all, they follow our account, then they unfollow our account. It happens. So gain their interest is not hard, but maintain their interest, develop the relationship with them, it's not easy. It really depends on how you engage with them and what kind of content you build up, which attract their interest like that. Um, Another, let me check my time. Okay, I think I have like 6 minutes. Um, if you only have, I know everyone has limited resources and time, so you may not have the time to do all the social media, because I only highlight 5 of them because it's popular, but there are many other social media in China if you want to use. So if you only have time to do one social media, then I would suggest WeChat because it gets all the attention. It's a very comprehensive app everyone uses and everyone wants to use it. So WeChat is the number one if you want to choose. Then if you have time to do the second one, you may want to think about which one can complement with WeChat better for your purpose. Another suggestion is hiring student ambassadors or student workers is vital. Like I cannot do all the social media. I'm very busy already. I have student workers who help me, support me like that. Otherwise, I cannot manage all the social media. So if you have the current students who are Chinese, I believe they are familiar with this social media already. They can help you. So hiring student workers is very important in their social media campaign. And because they are peers, our current students are peers with the prospective students, so they know their peers' interest, needs, and expectations, so they can develop some contents which are very engaging, which are up to the trend. So for example, actually I'm a little bit out. Sometimes my student works have very amazing ideas that I don't have. So I think hiring student workers who are the fit to help with the social media campaign is very important. Who are the contact people for? Okay, I will let me take some time to find the contact people and type in the chat box later. After my presentation, Andre will present, and at that time I will dig out the email address for you, Alex. Okay, so I will do it. I think that's my second to last. So this is my last session, my last slide, to give you some updating information about trending in the China market. So I joined a very recent conference in China this year, just last month. And that was the kind of like another version of China ICAC conference, annual conference in China this year. Because of the pandemic, the timeline was postponed and also the location was changed, lots of stories. But anyway, it happened in person last month. I attended lots of sessions, not just for recruitment, but also for other things as well. Regarding the recruitment, one session I think which is maybe helpful for today's panel is about the trending. So according to the officials who are in charge of kind of like international education in China, he got lots of data from different provinces. So this is what the summary. So as of now, this year, according to the data, the South China, for example, Guangdong province, and East China, for example, Shanghai, market decreased by 10 to 15%. And in central China, I don't know if you're familiar with the China map. So for example, Hunan, the market drops by 30 to 40%, which is the most significant drop in China. North China stays relatively steady because of Beijing. Beijing is still a really big city, big market. Lots of students want to study abroad, want to have international education. So the decrease is only 5%. This is the most updated information. According to this, you may have your own strategy. And people have different perspectives. I have talked with my colleagues, not just in my university, but also in other universities as well. So for example, Central China, which is the most significant drop right now, some people may still want to go there to recruit people, even it's a drop, because it shows like you care about the students, even if you know the number is down a lot, and you may grab some opportunities that other people may not notice like that. And some university may kind of like give up right now because it's a lot of the drop is like almost half of the drop, especially when you have limited time, resource, and access. I think it's very important to develop a strategy because no one can go to everywhere. Even I'm based in China now, I cannot go to every city, either the first tier city, second tier, third tier, every city. It's impossible. So developing a strategy based on the updating info and the data you have had in your system and your institutional goal, your institutional culture and structure, it's very important in times of recruitment. So that you will have a better outcome, a better expected outcome. So this is my session. I think this is my end of presentation. And I will try my best to answer the questions in the chat box later. And then I will turn the stage to Andre.